So I've been listening to this dope Spotify playlist called Chilled R&B, and out of the 50 tracks on the playlist, only about a dozen or so have guitar, and it's always interesting to see the way that guitar is used in modern music, so I learned all those tracks and picked out some really cool R&B guitar tricks. The first song I heard was Fun by Nnena, and right away the first chord is a bit unusual. It's this major 7 sus2, and we usually play a major 7 chord like this, but if we take our pinky away right here, which is a major 3rd, the note that makes it a major chord, it becomes a sus chord, or E major 7 sus2. The next interesting thing about this song is the chord progression. If we analyze this, it seems like the last 3 chords are in G major, and we almost hear that E as an E minor chord even though it's a sus. So with that, I kind of almost hear that chord as an E minor major 7 like this. Now it's very interesting because that E minor major 7, it's a very mysterious sounding chord. However, the E major 7 sus2 is just this very nice sounding harmonious chord. So it's kind of cool in the context of this chord progression. You could take this beautiful chord and make it sound mysterious by placing it somewhere slightly out of key. Another great example of a beautiful chord sounding different in the context of a chord progression is in the song Anxiety by Jojo. In the key of E major, we have a 1, a 4, and a flat 3. So that G major 7 is not in our key signature, and that's what makes it pop out a little bit. And we actually found that chord by borrowing from the parallel minor, which is E minor. One more example of cool chords outside of a key signature is PJ Morton's song, Please Don't Walk Away. So we start off in the key, going from B flat minor 9 to C minor. And it's just got this cool, like old school groove. And then does this dope turnaround in a different key, going G minor to D minor. And right back to our groove. Yeah, and it's just a simple guitar part, just playing those classic kind of old school soul sounds, just hammering into that. And then when we get to our turnaround, we do our little R&B moves. Yeah, just as simple as that. But that turnaround, it comes out of nowhere, and it just sounds so sweet, so unique, so beautiful. Good job, PJ. Aside from playing R&B guitar parts in an R&B song, every now and then we have those songs that have a Latin or South American vibe. Like in Love Again by Isley, we have this bossa nova guitar part that goes like this. This rhythm is created by separating the bass note with your thumb and the chord with your fingers, and we do this pattern. We grab all of them together, fingers, thumb, fingers, and we do it again, but with a slightly different rhythm, and it's like this. We add one extra grab at the end for that second pattern. Songs can also bring out a South American vibe through harmony, and we particularly hear this in a minor key when we make the 5 chord dominant. So if we have the key of E minor, instead of our 5 chord, which is normally B minor, we make that a B7. And that's just a common harmony that you hear in South American music. And you hear this in Joyia's Meu Amor, like this. The same vibe happens in Finesse by Nija. Our chord progression is D minor 9 to A7 sharp 5. 1 minor to 5/7. And when it comes to lead guitar, we could really bring out this kind of South American sound when we focus on the half steps in the D minor scale. So if we find our pattern right here, our half steps are here and right here. So those two notes, that B flat and that F, when you focus on those notes, it really just brings out that sound, and you can play around with that and create the vibe that you want to create. So far, we've seen a variety of ways of approaching rhythm guitar, from finger picking, creating a bossa nova rhythm, or simply doing those classic soul moves. But you could also simply arpeggiate the chord by picking across it, like in the song called Universe. There's one amazing chord in this progression that I love. It's E minor major 9. This chord is unique on its own, but in this chord progression, it's the 4 minor, which has just a beautiful resolve back to our 1 chord. So if I'm in B major as my 1, yeah. Or you hear this in there as well. Lift my pinky up. And that move right there, that's so reminiscent of this, that thing. If I went to the relative minor, right, G sharp minor, and did the 5, there's that classic move right there where you take the 5, D sharp 7 sharp 9, bring that pinky down to flat 9, and you got that. So we could do that in the major key as well. Yeah, really cool. I've never seen that before and I love it. I'm going to use it. You should use it too. The last common thing that you find in modern R&B tunes is those throwback vibes. Songs that have the rhythm and feel of classic R&B tunes. And nothing brings us out more than like a bluesy 6/8 meter. And you hear this in Muni Long's Hrs and Hrs. And the guitar part is simple, because you always want to keep it simple for something like this, allow the space. You just hit those staccato chords along with the snare, like this. Mary J. Blige's song Good Morning Gorgeous goes even further to capture this feel. And of course, Silk Sonic goes all in on the throwback vibes. In their song After Last Night, the chord progression is pretty simple. F minor 9, G7 sharp 5 to C minor 9. We can do those little hits. Yeah. And finally, you have a straight modern adaptation of a classic song. You hear this in Lucky Days, You Want My Love, which takes from the legendary song Can't Hide Love by the legendary band Earth, Wind & Fire. And it's just a beautiful tune and even a nice guitar part. Those classic kind of 70 moves, just nice, clean strums. Kind of a jazzy chord progression. Oh, it's so good. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. So if you want the tabs for everything that I played here, just to jam along with the songs and see all the chords for yourself, the link is in the description below for all my Patreon supporters. Keep jamming and stay nasty.